You are being offered an opportunity to enter a new reality. It is already here for those with eyes to see. Soon it will be the only reality to be seen. Those who tune into the new frequencies will find life growing more wondrous every day. Those who tune into fear will find things falling apart. Two worlds of consciousness will begin to form ever more distinctly: the world of love and life and the world of fear and death. There will continue to be some overlap of these two worlds for several years to come, some going back and forth for certain individuals. But as the century draws to a close, the polarization will continue to intensify. The moment of birth will also be the moment of last judgment, the moment of final separation. There will be better times for some and worse for others, depending on their orientation and involvement. Fortunately, the natural tendency of your species is to gravitate toward love and life. For the vast majority, the times ahead will be better than they expect. Some of the worst scenarios have already been rendered impossible, except in a few isolated pockets where the new energies will not enter until later. The momentum of positive change is being felt everywhere. The coming age will be a time of incredible blessings, restored ecological balance, international cooperation, and universal harmony. Planetary resources will be realistically understood and properly utilized. Humankind will be at peace. All life forms will work together in harmony, cultivating the full potential of the planet. It will be an age of revelation during which the mind and plans of the Creator will be made clear for all to see. It will be the age when the final stage of incarnation becomes fully manifest in form, when Spirit, working through a fully awakened and responsive humanity, constructs for itself a mobile, physical body. Human individuals will not function in such cumbersome fashion as they do today. They will go about their task with the grace of dancers, performing to a music that each will hear on his or her own channel, the music of his or her own soul. Through melodies, God will sustain each of his contextual identities in supreme fulfillment. Specific melodies will change with each environment, with each moment, with each task. Yet a consistent overall pattern of musical relationship will constitute the new identity of mankind. The song of the moment will be what each individual is in that moment, translated into an ever-changing musical score. Music will be the informational medium through which the totality of consciousness informs each individual cell of its specific functional duties within that totality. Individuals will participate in this music as well as listen to it. All humanity will be involved in conscious creation, immensely fulfilled in the capacities they serve. When an individual is not required in a functional capacity, he or she will be free to compose the score that will specify a route of musical travel within the body of creation. From a human cellular perspective, the work that is to transpire during the 1,000-year period of planetary awakening will manifest as the building of great floating cities of light, massive fleets of intergalactic starships constructed from biological components brought to life by the creative intentionality that will work through all humans of that age. However, from a perspective of spirit, the Star Maker will be organically growing through the instrumentality of the human species, a physical body capable of universal exploration. The completed body will resemble a human body in both design and structure. The completed physical body, incorporating much of the Earth's biological life, will depart from this planet in approximately 3011 AD. From the outside, it will have the appearance of a human baby of about 1 year of age. It will function much like the microcosmic human body, with all organs represented. It will be fueled by a fuel all will have learned to live on by that time, light itself. Its design will limit it to speed slightly less than the speed of light, but this will just be a pleasure cruise. And those wishing to travel faster will have only to use their non-physical vehicles. From the human cellular perspective, the construction of this body will be a gloriously enjoyable 1,000-year period of intercontinental cooperation. From a spiritual perspective, it will be the birth of an organism the likes of which the universe has never seen. As the greatest gathering of interstellar space vehicles ever assembled leaves the earth in graceful formation, the Christ child will slowly get up, look around, and push itself off into space. Yours is not a tame God, to be confined in reverent concepts, but a vibrant, playful energy, the very soul and spirit of life. He comes to earth not to be somber and devout, but to dance, sing, and enjoy all that he has created. Do not allow the gravity of your planet to weigh upon your consciousness. You have been aware of the effect of gravity on material objects, but it has only been recently in your space travels that you have begun to suspect that it also binds and limits consciousness. As a species, you first began to sense this when human beings entering into orbital patterns around the Earth. In the farthest reaches of the planet's atmosphere, gravity was felt for the very first time, as courtship instead of marriage. Were you listening to the reports of those first human space travelers? They were not alone in their capsules. The entire species was present with them in consciousness as collective historical preconceptions began to fall away. Many among you looked out of their eyes and shared the feelings they felt. Gravitational forces will certainly not be done away with after the coming, but they will no longer affect human consciousness. Had the fall not taken place, they never would have. In these last few years, while the influence of matter still coexists with the rising life energies, do not conceive of your world with such gravity. Lighten up with the merriment of the Christ. Even now, the awakening child is showing himself to your scientists and mathematicians through playful impossibilities that thwart all their rational explanations. He is laughingly holding up the stage props of contemporary contentions, running to and fro, catching them as they fall, seeing how long he can keep his presence a surprise. Do you remember when you were small children and the world seemed fun and exciting? Be like those little children again. Come play with us in the wonderland of matter. It is long years that you have that you have dreamed of your entry into these realms. Your dream has come true. Wake up and see where you are. If the world sees the happy exuberance of the awakening Creator shining in your eyes and thinks that it is irresponsible in light of this or that growing crisis, patiently explain to them what is happening. Tell them something of the new perspective. In the moment of your presence, in the moment of your being, tell them what you are experiencing and what they might experience too. Let them see that your happiness, your peace, and your serenity are not yours alone, but the reflection in your life of a being who will always be at his greatest ease. Do not let this preview of what is to come distract you from the work that lies ahead. Do not store the specifics of this vision in your mind and then expound upon them with rational extrapolations. Feel the spirit of all that we have been saying. Embody it practically in your daily living. The vision is real, but there are steps. The mechanism that the Lord has designed to implement His will in the realm of form. In the stillness of your innermost being, contact Him. Gain His clarity, purpose, and direction. When you have received instructions and discovered your area of service, go forth and do what needs to be done. We are prepared to join in conscious communion those members of your species who have experienced psychological death and rebirth. Before our help can materialize, however, there must be more openings on human levels. We are unable to commune with humans whose vibratory fields are distorted by ego factors, emotional reactions, excessive conceptualization, or past-future orientation. In such cases, our presence would force their vibrational patterns into alignment with ours, robbing them prematurely of a portion of their identity. We are only able to work with those who are consciously aware of who they are and what they are doing. With these, union becomes reunion. It is critical that you remember your origin and purpose. Your descent into matter has reached its low point. If all that you identify with is not to be annihilated in entropic collapse, you must begin waking up, begin living. You have been dead to the most important part of yourself all these years of your history. But your time in the sarcophagus is complete. You shall no more be consumed in the fires of faithlessness. Arise, then, from the ashes of ignorance and rejoin the cosmic brotherhood. The time of separation has come. There are but two roads before you. You can walk in the innocence of those whose trust in the Lord. Now, you can walk in the innocence of those who trust in the Lord, or perish in the impending collapse of your rational systems. The choice, as it always has been, is yours. A psychological process. I will read that in the next video.